Explorer came to me pretty much in the condition you see. Starter was installed for a no start, although I think there were two problems with this truck, because when they were having a problem initially, the one thing that didn't happen that's happening now is the instrument cluster was alive. We didn't work on it, but I know the guys that did, and makes sense that we have two issues here. Probably a starter that was failing, and now if you look, I'm turning the key on, I have no cluster. I also pulled codes before I turned the camera on, and I've been on this for about 10 minutes, and I noticed we have a UO155 in multiple modules for loss of communication with the cluster, which makes sense. The other thing I noticed initially inspecting this outside was I have water intrusion in the front and back of this vehicle, pretty severe. So I just found something here, and I figured I'd turn the camera on and catch you guys up. What we have, I did not put a scope on data lines. I didn't do anything yet. Everything here has been visual up to now. If you look here, okay, and what I noticed when I was looking here is, if you look down, get a better light, if you look down, I noticed this rust spot under the harness. So I pulled it up, and this is where I stopped. Okay, so I want to open this, and I'll do that on camera, I guess, and we'll see what we got. Carefully just kind of get this to peel a little bit. I want to take a look, see if I have any damage to these wires. I can't really see if it's just rust, or if we're in the right place, or what our next logical step is. So we're just going to open this up, being careful here not to damage wiring if it's not already. And this may not have any damage here, surprisingly, but we'll see. Water damage is not our friend. Let me grab a little help here. For all the wires that were making contact on that rust, and I don't see anything. But that doesn't mean that we don't have a corroded wire inside. This harness is full of water. See the rust here. It's just everywhere. Now, I want to peel this out. Yeah. Rusty. Like I said, this doesn't mean anything yet. Well, aside from the obvious that we have a water leak, and this harness was completely submerged. There are data lines obviously running through here. The reason I didn't get all my equipment out is because I was not planning on working on this thing tonight. It's late, I want to go home, but I came and I saw this, so we had to take a look, and we may be nowhere right now, so that's fine. But this has to be fixed regardless, and this water needs to be dried out. I mean, look at all the rust. So much rust. Pretty. Okay. I'm gonna leave the key on right now. I just want to see. I want to see if there's anything in here. what I suspect actually is the damage is up further in the fuse block. That's what I think at this point. And it's very hard to see. Oh yeah, it's very hard to see. What are the possibilities that I can get my arm in there, get this out? I really liked it better when they had these blocks on the other side instead of putting them over here. I want to just try to disconnect one of these connectors if possible. Look for water. This thing's a pain in the ass. Fucking, come on, junk. Very stupid freaking design these are. God. So that's that for now. Next step is tomorrow. All right, guys. So I'm back. It's the next day, and I'm back on this Explorer. I got a diagram, and what I have is a hot at all times, a hot in run or start, and I also have a ground one. Okay, so tested those, everything's good. I had also checked my data lines. I should have turned the camera on a lot earlier, actually. Sorry about that. I checked the resistance in my data lines as well, the medium speed and the medium and high speed CAN lines, and I was good there, 60 ohms, everything plugged in obviously. And at that point I hooked up my scope, checked my data lines on the scope, both medium and high speed, no problems, no dropouts that I saw, nothing funky there. So at that point I disconnected the cluster, and I wanted to look for any kind of pin fitment issues or anything like that, because remember, I had nothing here, okay? And I pulled this cover on the back here of the cluster, and I just wanted to take a quick look and see if I see anything with a solder joint, anything obvious. I didn't. I popped the cover back on, I plugged it back in, I turned the key back on, and this vehicle started. I have a bad cluster. I'm confident of that. And what I just did now at this point is I just hooked up everything back, and I wanted to see if I have any fault codes that return here that have anything to do with data, you know, anything like that. Now remember, I have a ton of water problems here, as you can see, and I think that the whole problem with that has to do with this windshield. As you can see, somebody changed it, and it doesn't look like it was sealed properly. So right now I am showing a code. I'm going to shut this off. Okay, she does start back up. Now that was in the ABS module, mind you. Instrument cluster was what I could not get into before, and I want to see what I have going on here. So anytime you're ready, take your time, Ford. Doing her self-test. As you can see, it swept the gauges. Just drop the mic. And she's checking everything. I'm probably going to set codes for door, jar, and all that. Let's see. Battery voltage low. It's interesting. But sometimes since last clear, the ignition was switched on without any key code being read. Okay, so this is all probably relevant to the problems that I had in this truck. Just want to see what the gem is showing. I know I'm going to set false codes here, but I don't care right now. Horn works. Yeah, I got to set a bunch of false codes here. I got doors open and all kinds of stuff. Okay, lost communication with the instrument cluster. Right. All right, so what I want to see is if I clear this stuff, which is what I'm going to do, I want to see if I have any communication problems now with the cluster, and then we're going to go from there. And I'm going to say we're probably not going to have any problems. Right. The only thing we're going to have is a fault code in the PCM for not completing, you know, after a reset. So I'm not really concerned with that. Yep, P1000. Okay, so I'm good with that. So what I want to see is if I go into the cluster again, this is going to take forever. Let me just see what live data is showing. Now the problem is I'm not going to be able to get this thing to fail again, and that's going to suck. Okay, so we're not seeing anything here with the controller network. Missing CAN, no. Number of keys stored 2. Okay. The thing with something like this that will make me always second guess myself and second guess all the testing is the water. Water sucks. Let's see. Here. Oh. Come on. There you go. You see the water? Got a lot of water in here. What I think I'm going to do, look at this thing is soaked. What I think I'm going to actually do here is I'm probably going to drill a small hole through the floorboard here and allow this water to drain before we cause some serious issues if we haven't already. And well, we haven't caused any issues actually. We're just trying to fix the issues that are here. But this water is going to be a problem, and I don't want that. So I'm going to try to get myself a small drill bit and punch a hole through and let this water get out of my face, because this harness is going to be toast. It's going to cause all kinds of those pretty green things to happen that we don't like. Oh. Honestly, don't even know why I'm bothering to film this, because it's really not proving much to you guys or much, you know, showing much. But when you have work done on a vehicle, again, I don't believe at this point that this water has anything to do with our failure, okay? I really don't. The cluster does not have water in it. The water's dripping down the corners behind the dash, and the smart junction box is buried underneath here like I showed you, and it doesn't appear to be any kind of water damage there. And mind you, I was able to communicate with that. Everything seemed to be working properly. The only issue I had was at the cluster. I noticed somebody else was in here with some kind of crap that they installed. I don't know if this is even hooked up anymore or what it's doing. It looks like it's partially disconnected, so not my concern either. I had to check, make sure they didn't tie anything into the data lines back here like I've seen before. Yeah, I don't know what that is, some kind of remote start or something, I don't know. But the smart junction box is clear of any kind of water damage. The water is actually dripping down in that corner over there, and it's getting underneath the insulation and into the floor and all that stuff, so I can't see too well. Now, is water getting down on top there? I don't know. I did disconnect this and I didn't see any water damage, and like I said, I was able to communicate with it, so that part of it I'm pretty confident we're okay, at least for now. We'll probably be putting a smart junction box in at a later date due to water, but that is not our concern again right now. I'm trying to fix what's broke. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go find myself a drill bit, keep dropping this thing, and I'm going to drill a hole, so I'll be back. Alright guys, so as you can see, I drilled a couple 1/16 holes, and I'm allowing this to drain out now, and it's going to take a little time. There's a ton of water in here. I don't want to drill big holes. I drilled a couple of little drains, and I'm going to allow it to get out a little bit at a time here. I may drill one more actually in the center just to help it along, but that's where we're at. This is just bad, you know. But the good news is, I think we got the problem found, and they're gonna have to rectify this windshield problem. I don't fix windshields. I can get a guy in, I guess. All right, hopefully the mic is still working. And I took the other, I didn't take it all the way off, but I moved the wheel well. And if you look up there, you'll see that we're in the same situation on this side as we are on the other side. So I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna get my little hook here. First I'm gonna drop something. That's mandatory. I think I'm gonna try to get up here if possible. I'll start fishing my fishing expedition here. This crap. All right, let's see if get my hand up in here. That sucked. People, man. All right, anyway, sorry about that, guys. I had to shut the camera off to waste about 20 minutes of my time because somebody was sent here from another shop that told them that the battery in the car is good, everything's good, but the car goes dead overnight, but everything's good, and he doesn't want to spend any money to diagnose it, so he's fishing, and I'm sick and tired of fishing. I've been fishing on this thing for a couple hours now, so sorry to rant, but people suck, and I guess it's just the way it is. All right, so where am I here? Forgot what I was even doing. All right, what I'm gonna do again, now that I wasted 20 minutes of my life with a guy that shouldn't even own a car, should probably drive a bicycle, I'm gonna go back and start over here because I want to blow this out again. A lot of crud in here. It's actually very hard to get in there on this side. I don't even know where the heck this is. Okay. Amazing. It's freaking amazing. All right, got some of it. Sorry, fellas, it's hard for me to hold the camera though on this, especially on this side. Just I was just looking at this thing again. I shut the camera off. I don't know, sometimes I can't think right and I have to step back, and I just realized I'm a dummy. I know some of you guys already realized that. What happened here, this drain on this side, what happens on this thing is, this actually goes, as you see, it's like sealed on this side and it's open, it's down lower on that side. What ends up happening is, this actually goes all the way through to this side and flows. As you can see, I blew everything out, and there's all the crud inside there. It blew everything back this way. So I just made sure that this drain is still clear. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just get the vacuum real fast. Excuse me, I'm gonna vacuum this out again, and we should be good to go. So the drains are now clear. I just wanted to verify that with you guys, all right? So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.